section 1. Sam is going to help us to demonstrate section 1. I'm going to explain technique by technique. Okay, the opening with the proper distance. 裝手, palm strike, 立頸手, 綁, 攤打, 間斬手 with a leg check, 捆手, 綁, 攤打 with a leg check, 間斬手, 圈, jet and palm. Double jet and double toss out. This is the beginning of the first technique. The first most important angle is center line. If I don't have my own center and don't have full energy, then I might have to use extra motions. I might be doing things like moving around. Okay, so this first technique allows us to express the most direct, most simple way for Wing Chun applications. Center line. The next move, palm strike and neck pull. As I mentioned before, it could be application from inside or outside. For example, inside, mark inside, or it really depends on applications. What is the inside and the outside hand? So the important part on this combination is having the full energy, establish a proper structure, which is really one of the nature of the zone. So when you practice, you need to focus the energy going back to the center. Then palm strike. The energy going back to the center. Then palm strike. Pull. Now this is detail on the angles. The first technique is 裝手. It's the ability to engage your opponent with the best angle and the right energy. So I totally occupy his center. This is the second move. Or the 立頸手. Okay, so this is a little bit detail on the wooden dummy. After we do the palm, when you occupy the center, when you pull, mistake could be that you might be pulling in. You have to redirect him. So then you have the right angle. So that's why you have the sequence 立頸手 here. The next movement is 綁攤打. So again, if James would punch me, this is outside 綁手. Next one, if he coming from this side, which means he have to travel longer distance, and I will use the same hand which is closer to engaging. But this time, again, I can control his upper gate, middle gate, and lower gate. Okay, if you want to watch that again. Upper gate, strike to the middle gate, and my footwork is to control his lower gate. So I totally have his center line. So I'm using a proper angle and using less energy. So that's why in the technique, upper gate, middle gate, lower gate. And my footwork is to control his lower gate. Next is 間斬手. Now let me show you the most direct application first. Okay, it's the ability to protect your upper gate and middle gate again. I can simultaneously strike, because in this case he did not even come close to my middle gate, but I'm still protected. If he did come to my middle gate, then my hand would make contact. So this is 間斬手. So sometimes I would use the upper hands and the lower hands based on his attack. But in a fight, you cannot always look at the hands, because we don't want to chase the hands. So this is the inner details. When you do the gan zam sao, my energy is going into the arm. This is the same thing as chopping the arm. We call chasing the hands. So what I want to do is cover my space, but the energy still going back into the dummy. So the application has an effect of direct energy going back to his center, and I'm covering. So this is one of the more of a direct way of using the gan zam sao. Outside, back to inside. Or if he punched, I could be inside, back to outside. So this is the nature of gan zam sao. Outside, back to inside. Okay, after gan zam sao, it's quan sao. Quan is to maintain your space or to bound. Okay, it's a very good technique. It's a circular technique because it's more efficient to deal with incoming force. Second, being circular technique, it covers more space. So it's a technique you can use to cover one gate or two gates simultaneously. This is one example of quan sao. He comes to attack the upper gate, so I can sweep. And second, or I'm not sure exactly where he's coming from, so I just basically screen and cover all my gates. So this is quan sao. One is to be able to cover your space. So in this case, I cover my upper gate, middle gate, and actually I hit him with the lower gate. So all my three gates is occupied. Another purpose of quan sao is have a sense of be able to capture your opponent's arm. Okay? Allow me to quickly trap the hands, because you cannot catch somebody's hands with just one hand. So you see, quan sao, idea is to be able to sweep your own gate, cover your own space, efficiently redirect the energy being a circular motion. Now you notice the angles. This express, if I stand over here, actually this arm already hit me. So for details, you need to know that this is a real attack. Your body has to be out of the way. So this is detail. This attack is out of the way. It's out of the way. So if I do right here, in essence, if this is a real kick, it still got me. The next move is the same. Quan, then Handa. So I'd like to talk a little bit detail on the legs. Again, punch. So this leg serves the purpose of occupying the low gate. In this case, his center is open. Now I can do a lot of things. I can kick him, I can knee him. If he has the other foot out, this acts as a control. Now my foot is inside. Okay, or I get a better angle. So this is important. That's why when we practice this part, the legs are maintaining contact. Same movement. The last sequence, it's a hyun sao. Sometimes hyun sao we can use one hand first. From inside, I need to go to outside. Okay? So in this sequence, we train the hands to learn how to flow simultaneously. So if you want to see the exact movement, so from inside to outside. Hyun, if he punch again, jut. So jut. So from inside to outside. So you can see this section 1, a lot of basic technique. Now you can really appreciate the dummy because you really get to see the different angles. In a real attack, I cannot always just stand toe to toe with him. I want to capture an angle. Okay? I want to be able to take his facing away. The center line, the facing, is what we learn in Sidentao. The footwork from Samkyo, and then the explosive energy of Ryuji, all combined. This is the nature of the section 1. Section 2 actually is mirror image. One is left side, one is right side. But I do want to explain about the ending of each section. Double jut and double toss out. This normally is when your hands is already engaged, when you're already making contact. That's why in Chi Sao, right away, as soon as I feel his energy is hard, if he comes in, then I can jut. This is what we call Loi Lao concept. Okay? Or if his energy is stiff, I can send him off also. So a lot of times Loi Lao Hui Song, if he comes in, then you can always see the energy I can utilize. So this jut talks out. In training we have a sequence, we have a particular positions. But in real situation your hand could be here. If he suddenly give me some energy, you see, right away I can use it. Or if I feel like he's like jerking his hand away, I can send it off. This is the idea about understanding live energy, but we try to get the angles from the dummy. Section 3. Pops out, okay, stop. Now you notice his body unity. Okay, he's deflecting off his center and his whole body is utilized, not just with the hands. And this is also details too. If you don't pay attention, a lot of beginners, they will do this. Now what is this? This is fingers versus the proper structure of the palm. So this is all details here. Continue please. Jut. This is a knife hand chop. Sometimes referred as saken, cute neck. Jut up, chop, punch, double jut, pops out, stop. Okay, this is low bounce out. If this is a real kick or low punch, savvies have a correct angle. Show me a wrong angle. Yeah, see? Now you can see the punch is actually going through his body. So this is wrong angle. Fat Sao, Wang Gyo or side kick. Again, check his angle. So this is an attack. It's going away from his body or not hitting his body. This is line of fire. Every strike you have to treat it as like a gun. Okay, you cannot be in the line of fire. Next. Same sequence. Arms out. Correct. Po Pai. Now this is Po Pai. So Po Pai down is a pushing. So the technique began after you make contact. So now I'm in a good position and I have his legs secure. So once I have contact, now I begin the Po Pai technique. So this is the Po Pai. When we use Po Pai, primarily we use to uplift, uproot, pushing your opponent. And I strike. By the time I make contact, the technique is done. So now I'm in a good position. Okay, I can strike with the upper gate, middle gate. In the form, you have a Po Pai up, you have a Po Pai middle. and I have his legs secure. So once I have contact, now I begin the Popeye technique. So this is the Popeye. The technique begins after you make contact. Okay, let's see the section 3 applications. We begin with Pak Sao. Now, Pak Sao is one of the things that you learn first in Wing Chun. Most of the school that I experienced actually begin with Pak Sao. When we practice Pak Sao, we have this type of angle. He throw me a punch. Now this, you have to understand, this is for practice because we want the beginner to train the center line. Now if you have to use it this way, then you're going to run into a couple problems. One is energy. You have an energy that's crashing head on. If he punch, I go straight, he's coming in. This is head on. This is sitting tau stage. Now when you get to the dummy stage, you have to be efficient with energy. So again, you adjust the angles. So same thing, right? So now the angle changed. Okay, his punch is going away from me, and I'm avoiding meeting on his force head on. But at the same time, James, can you feel where my energy is going? Right, it's going back to his center. So we have to avoid the mistake of what we call chasing the hand. This would be chasing the hand. You see, my hand left my own center. So not only my hand stay on center, it has to be back on to his center. This is a proper projection of energy. So this will be the technique again. Punch again. Right. So everything I do is based on center line. So because as soon as he make a move, I have influence because my hands towards the center line. The Pak Sao is not simple as redirecting the energy. It acts as a way to find out what's out there. It kind of have a nature of Man Sao. Because in a real scenario, I want to be direct. Even if I successfully redirect him, you know, this is strictly defensive. I could easily do a Pakda. Okay? So, but that's why the nature of Pak also contains the nature of Man Sao. For example, okay, I find out what's out there. I feel his energy. So Pak Sao, so section 3. This is jut, kill the neck, then punch again and punch. Okay. Now in practice, you learn the sequence, but in the real situation, it doesn't have fixed patterns. Again, Pak. Okay, redirecting him. The next thing comes, if he comes straight, I can redirect down. So that's why the next hand is more of a jut and then quick go forward. Okay, so in the form, turning and then next one is straight. The only difference is that the punch is low. Okay? In the application, it's based on whichever gate is open. This is important. Okay? So if he's here, or if I can totally control his arm, the middle gate or upper gate, both is open. But remember, by the time you practice the dummy at this stage, the footwork, the angle, the energy, the trapping, the two hands work as one, all the previous concept and body mechanics, what you learn is expressed together. Now the next sequence, Bong Sao, Fat Sao, side kick. In different families, sometimes they express the side kick, sometimes they express the front kick. It really depends on the distance and which target are you hitting with. A middle gate attack, deflection. Again, this is not deflection here. So in the dummy form, you must have the arms pointing away. And the next shot comes, Fat Sao. Again, you can see, because I'm in the right angle, I'm in a position to really call the shot. Low Bong Sao, okay, again you can see the deflection going away from me, not in front of you. Okay, so because I'm in a better angle, the next shot, if he comes again, I can really take his position away. Okay, now because I have a better position, I can follow up. This is called combination, or sometimes referred as Fan Sao. This is one of the ways that allow us to follow up. We have to know when to follow up, when not to hit. Okay, now you see where he's at now. At this distance, what would be the natural extension of my technique? Side kick. Okay, let's watch from the other angle. If I really take his balance away, my next follow-up will be a side kick. This is a perfect angle for me to finish him. Okay. By the way, side kick is the longest technique that we have in Wing Chun, but we don't go outside of the 6th gate, and we don't try to miss the efficiency factor. So even if he's far away, I still have to continue and recover my 6th gate. Now, if he's close, just here, if he backs away, then the quickest kick I have is a front kick. Here, center line. This is all based on applications. So again, you cannot say this is the only way to practice dummy. So if you see a school that teaches this way, these are just variations. Okay, so you can see the kicks of Wing Chun is being expressed here. Where did we learn this from? Kyu. Okay. You can do front kick. You can do side kick. Okay. Flexibility it's in applications. Now after this sequence, you go to Popeye. Low, you sink. High. Sink. High. Again, okay, you cannot Popeye somebody this way. If he does that to me, he's open. This is not a right angle. Okay. So in application, as I demonstrated earlier with Savvy, you can see the angles of this is here. Can you push me, James? You cannot. I am pushing. Okay? It's a good technique because you really have control of the center, especially if you go to upper gate. Now, if the head goes, guess what happened to the center line? The center line also goes too. Now, section 3 is actually the first kick in the Wing Dummy set. The concept behind the section 3 kicks is really back down to the Sirimtao concept of facing again. Based on the distance, I can use side kick. If I'm from here, then side kick is not possible because I have to turn and the distance is too close. The front kick would be correct. So again, this is a Sirimtao concept of facing. We want to maximize our tools. So in order to do that, you must have 6 gates. So these first kicks teach us how do you adjust the distance. Front kick, closer. Side kick, for farther away. So there is a lot of considerations always in the sense of, what is the right technique. It's really based on your position, your distance, of course, timings. Section 3. Okay, now we're going to be doing section 4. Hyun Sao, Hyun Sao, Hyun Sao, jump and palm. Palm, palm down. Okay, stop. This is sometimes referred as 3 motion in 1 action. 3 techniques simultaneous. Wing Chun we have save time. Sometimes you have to have simultaneous defense and offense. You look at here. Here we have a defense, but you have an offense here and offense here. Ganzam, Hyun, Hyun, Hyun. Jut and low palm. Bong. Same thing. Ganzam, Hyun. Finish. Okay, now in this section, this is the second series of the Wing Chun kicks in the dummy. Section 3 we have a side kick after fast out. Now here we have a low stomp kick. The stomping kick in Wing Chun is quite unique because the energy of course going towards the center, but it's also going downwards. Section 4 begins with series of huns. As I explained before, hun you can do with one hand. In this particular section is two hands. You have to pay attention to the angle. You notice that my arms are touching his forearm. This is control. If I don't have this, or I just control this part here, then actually there's nothing stopping him to strike me. So the angle of this arm you must have, because now I do have a slight hand control. If he make a move, yeah, I'm right there. Or even this hand, I have more control. You gotta be able to control the arm. If you Kwan here and then strike, you see the big space I'm open right here, or you can come in here. Okay, so a little bit more detail. The angle is still same, okay? You don't want to do this. Punch, straight. This is not good. This is still open. He can use this hand to attack, okay? And then it comes again with this hand. So again, the angle you must have good with control. So next move is the jut, punch. Follow with this sequence, you have the second kick. Now I like to explain about the what we call stomping type of kick. In kicking, you have what we call like just like a snap, okay? Or sometimes you have like a push. Or this one's like a push, but it's downward, as though you're stomping on something. In practice, you could apply this angle straight. Let's say he comes in, this will be a straight. It probably would not stop his attack right away, but this gives you concept of what we call mo yin girl. In Southern Shaolin, our kicks are low, called no shadow kicks. But the angle to use it, okay, it could be straight. So if James come with a punch, okay, his have to step in. So this will be more of a distraction or interception, or even against a kick. Okay, so this is a straight angle. It's more of an intercept. Now why do we do the side angle? Because this is the real angle you need to take him down. This angle here. Now earlier I said about stomping, right? In practice, dummy legs do not bend. But in application, your energy has to go down. Okay, we do it slow. One, the kick is down. Okay, so stomp, then you can stomp again. So this is a finishing kick. Okay, now imagine the hard surface. On the way down, the knee hitting the ground with the body weight behind it. This is where you do the damage. So it's really totally destroying the center and balance. Angle is very important. From here, you lean and then follow through. That's the stomping kick. This is so there you can see there's two angles right now. The front, then the side. Okay? So sometimes I could be using different foot. One, then two. You see the way we apply is simultaneously with two hands and foot. This is a progression of skill we try to express. From single movement to two movements, then combine them. That's hard. Then I punch. This is for training. For real practice, then you don't have the time to do that, because if he throws a 1-2 at me, then we both hit. Yes. So because I'm throwing a 2 beat. So that's why when Chen say, okay, well, if I need to protect me, I'm gonna hit. Best defense is offense, and best offense need a strong defense. So sometimes we do simultaneous. You cannot do it 1, 2, 3. This is not for application. For application, you have the angles, same time. Then you finish him on the ground. 3 motions in one. If you need to move with one motion, this is the best way. Straight angle, this is the most simple way. This is always the Wing Chun principle. Simple, direct. Okay, I'd like to add a little bit on the energy part. A lot of time in Wing Chun, we like to redirect a larger force. We have a lot of beginners, they tend to shift their center. This is incorrect. And in essence, this is not redirecting, I'm running away. If I catch him and as I'm redirecting, I'm running away, what is wrong with that? but in a real fight, his energy is going to have to come in. Maybe his technique's finished, but the momentum is still there. So if I shift my center, the situation is going to be probably like this. Okay, this is moving away. Okay, so a lot of time when we don't have a good balance, it's because we shift our weight. Watch again. This is not deflecting. This is moving away. So you have to make sure your center is balanced, and then what is moving is the incoming energy. So you see now his energy is really going away from me, and this is called redirection. So in the dummy, we have to show this proper energy. Make sure it's being redirected here, and then redirect it. That's why you cannot do this. Okay, you gotta have the proper angle, and then the energy is being redirected away from you. Now that you have seen the part 1 of the Mo and Zong, and I'd like to conclude with that the most important thing about part 1 is to give you the background information and to give you the focus in terms of the 3 most important areas why we develop and practice the Mo and Zong, which is develop the right angles, give you the right training for the energies. When you combine those two, they allow you to have a superior position, which allow you to have follow-up hands combinations. And ultimately, the objective is to be able to apply our Kung Fu. This is for applications. So be cautious about developing too many drills that is fixed